to URChibified.
Hello everyone, welcome. Today we're going to talk about Barack Obama, and I was looking at the biography website, and there's way more information than a 10-minute video can handle, so I will be omitting a lot of things to save time, essentially. And in the age of information, even the biography website can't fit in, 8 years of information, so there's a lot of things missing, but if you want more of a deep dive, I would suggest you go research it on your own. So yeah, let's get into this. Obama was born in Honolulu, Hawaii on August 4th, 1961. Obama's father is from Kenya and his mother is from Wichita, Kansas. Obama's parents divorced very early on in his childhood, and he struggled with the absence of his father, who he only saw once more after his parents' divorce. As for Obama's education, he was in Occidental College in LA in 1979, and then transferred to Columbia University in New York City, and graduated in 1983 with a degree in political science. And finally, he graduated magna cum laude from Harvard Law in 1991. After school, he worked in the business sector, community organizer, and then later joined a law firm in 1989. That's where Obama met Michelle Robinson, and they were married in October 3, 1992. And they had 2 daughters, Malia and Sasha. Obama entered politics as a Democrat in 1996 for a seat in the Illinois State Senate. He did a number of things during that time, including legislation on ethics, expanding healthcare services. He also created a state-earned income tax credit for working poor, and he worked with law enforcement to require videotaping of interrogations and confessions in all capital cases. In 2000, he made a unsuccessful Democratic primary run for the House of Representatives, and yeah, he failed. As for the after 9/11 attack in 2011, he was an early opponent of the Iraq War. In the 2004 Democratic primary, Obama ran for the U.S. Senate seat, which was open, and won with 52% of the vote. He then debated the Republican nominee, Alan Keyes, and they, in basically televised debates, they expressed their opposing views on stem cell research, abortion, gun control, school vouchers, and tax cuts. Obama, during the general election, Obama received 70% of the vote. It was the largest electoral victory in Illinois history. He was also the 3rd African-American elected to the U.S. Senate since Reconstruction. In 2007, Obama announced his run for candidacy for the Democratic presidential nomination. And he went against former First Lady and then U.S. Senator from New York, Hillary Clinton. And in June 2008, Obama became the Democratic Party's presumptive nominee. Although I believe Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, but Obama won the electoral votes. On November 4, 2008, Obama defeated Republican presidential nominee John McCain by 52.9% of the vote and became the 44th president of the United States. Joe Biden became his VP. During his time in office, Obama expanded healthcare insurance, passed a $787 billion stimulus bill to promote short-term economic growth, since we were in a minor recession during that time. New regulations were proposed for Wall Street. He cut taxes for working families, small businesses, and first-time home buyers. He also loosened the ban on embryonic stem cell research and moved ahead with a $3.5 trillion budget plan. He also tried to improve relations with other countries like China, Russia, Iran, Venezuela, etc. He added 21,000 troops to Afghanistan and put an August 2010 deadline for a withdrawal of almost all troops from Iraq, which I believe did not happen. He also prepared for the swine flu outbreak and tried to close the detention facility at Gitmo in Cuba, which never happened. I'm not sure why. In 2012, Obama was re-elected to a second 4-year term as president with 60% of the Electoral College. His opponent was Mitt Romney. On April 29, 2011, Obama gave the green light to a covert operation to track down al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden, and they found him in Abbottabad, Pakistan, and killed him. Obama also later worked with Russia to reach a deal with Syria, and later made a nuclear deal with Iran by removing sanctions and allowing them to ramp up sales of oil and access to their frozen bank accounts in return for their inspection of their nuclear program, and keeping uranium at a much lower level than was needed to create a nuclear weapon. Although I believe the controversy was that the inspections were happening by Iranians instead of independent inspectors, but I'm not entirely sure. In February 2014, Russia crossed into Ukraine and annexed the province of Crimea. In response, Obama ordered sanctions. Later, in I believe August 2014, Obama ordered the first airstrikes against the Islamic State, also known as ISIS or ISIL, that were taking over parts of Iraq and Syria. But I believe there were multiple different rebel groups getting resource support, which was making it difficult to overtake them. In December 2014, Obama tried to reestablish diplomatic relations with Cuba for the first time in 50 years, but the embargo on Cuba couldn't be removed without the approval of Congress. In 2015, Obama made a deal with India, which would open the door in India's energy industry. Moving on now. In March 2010, Obama signed the healthcare known as the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. The new law prohibited the denial of coverage based on pre-existing conditions, allowed anyone under 26 years to be insured under their current plan, and expanded insurance coverage to millions of Americans. There's a lot of controversy on that, like the requiring of a mandate, a lot of people losing their insurance, or high cost due to loss of tax subsidies, but there just isn't enough time to go over it. In 2013, NSA was accused of email monitoring and telephone wiretapping, but Obama defended NSA and said they're not encroaching on privacy. But later on, of course, Edward Snowden came out as a NSA whistleblower and basically proved that the NSA collects data on everything, whether you're a U.S. citizen or not, whether you're on a list or not, anyone. By November 2013, only 37% of Americans approved of the job Obama was doing as president. In 2011, Obama signed a 4-year renewal of the Patriot Act, specifically provisions for roaming wiretaps.
It's all about humanity.
In 2011, Obama signed to repeal the military policy known as Don't Ask, Don't Tell, which basically prevented openly gay troops from serving in the U.S. Armed Forces. And in June 2015, the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 to overturn an earlier 6th Circuit Court of Appeals ruling that same-sex marriage bans in several states were constitutional. But by reversing this earlier decision, the Supreme Court made same-sex marriage legal throughout the country. In August 2015, Obama announced a Clean Power Plan. It was a climate change plan aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions, which was the first ever national standard to limit carbon pollution from coal-burning power plants in the U.S. This was under the reduction target from the plan from the Paris Climate Agreement. Under these regulations, states were allowed to create their own plans and submit by 2016 and final versions by 2018, but I'm not sure if that happened. In March 2016, Obama had a press conference to present Judge Merrick Garland as his nominee for the Supreme Court seat after Antonin Scalia died. And because it was an election year, the Republicans did not want to take a vote. This seems to parallel what's happening right now with Amy Coney Barrett, just on the reverse party. In January 2016, Obama announced a few executive orders related to gun control, which had a lot of opposition to it.
It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity.
Obama's last days in office consisted of him commuting non-drug violent offenders, about 330 of them. He also commuted the sentence of Chelsea Manning, who was a whistleblower. And I'll quote a paragraph from his last press conference. He said, "I believe in this country. I believe in the American people. I believe that people are more good than bad. I believe tragic things happen. I think there's evil in the world, but I think at the end of the day, if we work hard and if we're true to those things in us that feel true and feel right, that the world gets a little better each time. That's what this presidency has tried to be about, and I see that in the young people I've worked with. I couldn't be prouder of them. And so this is not just a matter of no drama Obama. This is what I really believe. It is true that behind closed doors, I curse more than I do publicly. And sometimes I get mad and frustrated like everybody else does. But at my core, I think we're going to be okay. We just have to fight for it. We have to work for it and not take it for granted. And I know that you will help us do that.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and click that notification bell. Stay cute, Chibies.